So 7.4 notes, we're going to talk about matrices and systems of equations. So when we talk about matrices, it's important to know that matrices, the dimensions, go row by column. Where rows, you can think about like a movie theater row, they go side to side. Columns would be like columns of a building, they go up and down. So when it asks for the size of the matrix or the dimensions of the matrix, it wants it row by column. The order that you write it is important. So looking at example 1, it says determine the dimensions of each matrix. How many rows do we have in A? 1 row. By how many columns do we have? 1. So this would be a 1 by 1. For B, how many rows do we have? Rows. 1 row by how many columns? 4 columns. So it'd be a 1 by 4. What about for C? How many rows do we have? 2 rows. And how many columns? So 2 by 2. D, how many rows do we have? 3 rows. And how many columns? So a 3 by 2. And then for E, how many rows? 3 rows. And how many columns? So 3 by 1. So we can take our system of equations, so in the example up at the top, we can take our system of equations and write it as a matrix. When we write it as a matrix, we get rid of the variables. So in an augmented matrix, we have all the numbers from the system of equations where we have an X column, a Y column, a Z column, and an answer column. So if the question wasn't given to you in X, Y, Z order, you want to rearrange it because it's important what numbers go in which column. So the position of them matter. And we also have a coefficient matrix, which would just be the coefficients of the variables. So just the coefficients would be in our coefficient matrix. We don't write what it equals. And then we also have a constant matrix, which would just be the constants. So everything that it equals is just the constant matrix. But the augmented matrix is all of it together. So example 2 says write the augmented matrix for the system of linear equations. So in our augmented matrix, we're going to have an X column, a Y column, a Z column, and an answer column. So X, Y, Z, and an answer column. So what would the first row of my matrix be? What's the coefficient in front of X? 1. In front of Y. So same equation, that's going to go in our first row. What's the coefficient in front of Y? 3. Do we have a Z? So what do you think is going to go in the Z column? A 0, perfect. And then what's it equal to? 9. Now let's do our second row. What's the coefficient in front of X? 0, there is no X. We'd have to put a 0 in that spot. What's the coefficient in front of Y? -1, and the coefficient in front of Z? 4. And then what's it equal to? -2. Perfect. And then our last row is going to be our last equation. So what goes in the X column? 1. What about the Y column? 0. And then the Z column? -5. And it's equal to 0. And it says what's the dimension of the augmented matrix? How many rows do we have? 3 rows. And how many columns? 4 columns. So it'd be a 3 by 4. On the next page, same thing for 8, 10, and 12. We're just determining the dimensions of the matrix. How many rows do we have in 8? 1 row. And how many columns? How many columns? 4 columns. So it'd be a 1 by 4. What about for 10? How many rows do we have? 3 rows, and how many columns? 3. So 3 by 3. And then for 12, how many rows? 2 rows, and how many columns? 4 columns, so 2 by 4. All right, for 15, 16, and 17, we're going to write the augmented matrix for the system of linear equations, and what is the dimensions of the augmented matrix. So in 15, I'm going to write my matrix up here. So augmented matrix has the coefficients and the answers. What would the first row for 15 be? Perfect. 1, 10, negative 2, 2. That would be our x, y, z, and the answer. What's the second row? 5, negative 3, 4, and 0. Perfect. What's the third row? 2, 1, 0, because there's nothing in the x spot. 6. What are the dimensions of our matrix here? A 3 by 4. Perfect. Let's do the same for 16. What would the first row be? 1, negative 3, 1, 1. What's the second row? 0, 4, 0, 0. And the third row? 0, 0, 7, negative 5. Awesome. What are the dimensions of this matrix? A 3 by 4. Perfect. All right. Let's do 17. What would the first row be? 7, negative 5, 1, 13. Perfect. What about the second row? Awesome. 19, 0, because we don't have a y. Negative 8, 10. Sophia, what are the dimensions of this matrix? 2 by 4. Perfect. All right, 67 and 68, we're going to solve. So super similar to what we did yesterday with the notes in 7.3. We want to pick a variable and stick with that variable to eliminate. In 67, which variable do you think would be the easiest to pick? Santi, what do you think?
The first one?
The X's, the Y's, or the Z's?
X.
Does anybody have a better suggestion? Why do we think Z would be the best option? Because we can see that they'll cancel right off the bat. We wouldn't even need to multiply them by anything because they all already have the same coefficient. And one of them's even already negative, so we wouldn't have to cancel. Or we wouldn't have to multiply to get them to cancel. So I'm going to label my equations 1, 2, and 3. Which two equations do you want to combine together first? Sure, 1 and 2. There is no wrong answer. So Santi, your answer wasn't wrong by saying to eliminate the X's first. But doing the Z's would be easier. So negative X plus Y minus Z is equal to negative 14. And then 2X minus Y plus Z is equal to 21. So do the Z's cancel right off the bat? Yeah, so let's combine them together. What's negative X plus 2X? X. What happens to the Y's? They cancel. What happens to the Z's? They cancel. And then this would be equal to what? 7. Now it's okay that two of our variables cancel out. It's actually better for us. It's less work that we have to do. But we still have to do this step twice. So we combine the first and the second equation together. Which two equations do you want to combine together next? 1 and 3. Great choice because we see that the Z's will cancel out there as well. So we have negative X plus Y minus Z is equal to negative 14. And then 3X plus 2Y plus Z is equal to 19. Do the z's cancel? Yeah, so let's combine all of our like terms. What's negative x plus 3x? 2x. Y plus 2y? 3y. And then what happens to the z's? They cancel. Negative 14 plus 19 is what? 5. Now before, we would take these two equations and combine them together. We can still do that, but it's even easier than just combining and using elimination. Again, because we have one of our answers. I have what x is equal to. So what do I do with the x? Plug it in where? The x where? Awesome. We're going to plug it into this one. I have to plug it into the equation with 2 variables because you can only solve for 1 variable at a time. So we have 2 times 7 plus 3y equals 5. So 14 plus 3y equals 5. 3y equals, when we subtract 14 to the other side, what's 5 minus 14? Negative 9. Divide by 3. Bless you. What does y equal? Negative 3. Perfect. Now we have x, we have y. How do we find z? Plug in the x and y where? Which equation? We got lots of equations here. Sure. We can plug it into the first one. You can plug it into any of the 3 original equations. I think the first one's a great choice because the numbers are smaller. But the numbers aren't very big in any one of these, so you can plug it into any one. You'll get the same answer for z. It doesn't matter which one you plug it into. Just make sure you do the math right. So negative x would be negative 7 plus negative 3 minus z is equal to negative 14. Negative 7 minus 3 would be negative 10. Minus z is equal to negative 14. Add 10 to move it to the other side. So negative z is equal to negative 4. What does z equal? 4. How would we write our answer? Seven, negative 3, 4. So this would be the ordered triple that we'd write our answer in. But we talked about yesterday how we also want to write our answer in row echelon form. So we'll practice doing that here too. So in row echelon form, we want an equation with 3 variables. So we can take the first one here. You can pick any of the first 3, the original 3 equations. So negative x plus y minus z is equal to negative 14. Do we have an equation with 2 variables? Where? 2x plus 3y equals 5. Perfect. So 2x plus 3y equals 5. And then do we have an equation with 1 variable? Where? X equals 7. So this would be our row echelon form. We need an equation with 3 variables, 2 variables, and 1 variable. All right, 68. Which variable do you want to eliminate first? X is not a bad choice, but I think that there's an even easier one. I think z would be the easiest because we already have an equation where there is no z. So I'm going to use this equation as one of my first 2. So that would be negative x plus y equals 14. We don't even have to eliminate z in this one. We're going to use that as one of our equations with 2 variables. But we got to find another equation with 2 variables, so I'm going to combine 1 and 2 together. So we have 2x plus 2y minus z is equal to 2, and x minus 3y plus z is equal to 28. Do the z's cancel right off the bat? Yep. So let's combine all of our like terms. 2x plus x 3x, 2y minus 3y, negative y, and then 28 plus 2, 30. What can we do next? Do we have two equations with two variables? Yeah, this one, which was our equation number 3, and the one that we just found. So we can combine these two together. So negative x plus y equals 14, and 3x minus y equals 30. Which variable do you want to eliminate here? The y's. The y's already cancel right off the bat. So we can go ahead and combine our like terms. What's negative x plus 3x? Sabrina, what's negative x plus 3x? 2x. And 14 plus 30? 44. What do we do next? Divide by 2. So x is equal to 22. From here, if you want to go ahead and put it into row echelon form, you can, or just save it for the last step. Do we have an equation with 3 variables? Yeah, which one? I think the first one's a good choice because the numbers are the smallest. So we have 2x plus 2y minus z is equal to 2. Do we have an equation with 2 variables? We could either use this one or we could use this one. Everybody's row echelon form is going to look a little bit different. Just make sure you have an equation with 3 variables, 2 variables, and 1. So either one of these two. I like the first one here because the numbers are smaller. But it doesn't matter which one you pick. So negative x plus y equals 14. Do we have an equation with 1 variable? Yep. X equals 22. Awesome. So this would be our row echelon form. Once we get it in row echelon form, we're just using back substitution. We can take x equals 22, plug it into x. So negative 22 plus y equals 14. Add 22 to move it to the other side. What does y equal? 36. How do we find z now? We're going to plug x and y into the first one. So we have 2 times 22 plus 2 times 36 minus z equals 2. So 44 plus what's 2 times 36? 72 minus z equals 2. 44 plus 72. 116 minus z equals 2. Subtract 116, move it to the other side. Negative z is equal to what? Negative 114. So what does z equal? Positive 114. All right, so we wrote our answer in row echelon form. Let's also write it as an ordered triple. What would have to come first? 22, comma, what comes next? 36, comma, 114.